Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye, bye. Let's get to the intro. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all, so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. And I appreciate the support. So let's talk Rebecca Haro, if that's even her name. Dun, 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 dun. Ladies and gentlemen, the tortas in the house, the jailhouse. That's exactly where that torta's at, and that's where she deserves to be, no matter what you think, right? I don't care if she was, I don't care what they say. I don't care if she was a battered woman. I don't care if she was scared for her life. I don't care. A mother does not do what that torta did, okay? Making up stories, please, he changed his diaper. None of that right there. What she said matters. All that matters is Emmanuel, the baby. That's it. Not her fucking feelings, not her black eyes giving black eyes fucking piggyback rides, not her abusive relationship, not her domestic issues, not her husband making her say whatever he made her say, if that's really even her husband. At this point, we don't know what's going on. This case, the baby Emmanuel case, has went crazy. It's off the hook. I mean, off the hook. Just straight up off the hook. That's it. You know, we got a situation here where Jake Haro, the father of Emmanuel, and we don't even want to call him a father. I'm not going to call him a father. The person who had him in his house, right? This human being who had him in his house has decided to start helping law enforcement. Now, there's a lot of questions going on. A shout out on the tira, but I know he put out a story saying that Jake was probably cooperating with authorities and leading them to the body because he was spotted in his red or orange jumpsuit, helping authorities look in a certain vicinity, a certain area right off the side of a freeway. It looked like in the middle of some hills, right? But let me tell you guys this. I got a little bit of a different story. I talked to a theory. I talked to a few different people that are in the surrounding areas, and this is kind of what we came up with. This is just my theory. I do not believe Jake has admitted anything. I do not believe he is man enough to admit it. I believe he's doing the same thing that he has priors of doing before, and that's beating his kid or killing it and then blaming the mother. Okay? And it's going to get deeper and more twisted than this, but I believe that he is blaming Rebecca, that he is saying Rebecca had something to do with it and that he was an accomplice and that he knows where she put the body. Okay? Now, in Rebecca's defense, there is no defense. She's going to try to say that she was a battered woman and that this man killed his child and that this man made her do what and say what she said and done. But just like in the Sin City Manny's video, where that video that's going to convict him is the one talking about killing the guy and he's trying to find him. Well, there's a video out there on Rebecca that's pretty vicious. It's very explosive. There's a video out there that really shows her mind frame. Now, a woman that is held against her will or is being beaten and is scared of a man, it happens all the time, right? So I'm not going to say that's brand new. Okay, that's not a stylistic song. That's not Bet You by Golly Wow nor brand new. What that is a woman that's in a bad situation. But was she really in that type of situation, or did she thrive off of it? Was she as heavily involved, invested in this killing of Emmanuel? Then we all know. Well, I could tell you this. You want to know what's going to be the damning evidence on her? Do you want to know what's going to be the nail in her coffin? The fact that she's seen at a hardware store buying a fucking hacksaw. If they find that baby's body, which I highly doubt they will, because obviously if Jake is cooperating and they didn't find the body yet, maybe he forgot, maybe he's uncoordinated, maybe he's dyslexic, maybe the motherfucker didn't drink his V8 that morning or his Red Bull. But the reason they didn't find that child is he might not know where he put that child, or he might not know where Rebecca put that child. But best believe, I believe he's going to work with authorities in any situation, in any way he can, with his bootleg-ass Timu lawyer. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to look for any excuse to try to blame that woman. Not only was he beating that woman, but he's also going to try to blame that woman. And I use the term woman very loosely when it comes to her, because she is not a mother. She is not a nurturer or someone that cares. She is an aiding and a abettor and possibly a murderer. And best believe, if she bought a hacksaw and they find that kid and that kid is in pieces, I don't even want to think about it. But if they do find it like that, they find that child like that, well, guess what? Guess who went and bought the hacksaw? Now, of course, she's going to say she bought it because he told her to buy it. He made her buy it. Whatever. She still bought that shit. You know, she traded in whatever food stamp she had for money and went and bought that shit. So that's on you. Don't think all women are innocent just because they're getting beaten on. Sometimes when you're beaten on so much, it creates a monster, someone who's heartless, someone who forgets that they're human, an inhuman person, and they start acting out and doing anything that that man wants them to do and saying anything that that man wants them to say, almost to the point where they start thriving off it, enjoying it. This is what the type of woman Rebecca Haro seems to me. A woman that your baby's missing, your baby's murdered, even if you were involved in it, maybe if you've seen your husband do it right in front of you, how the fuck are you going to go get your hair done? How are you going to put on makeup? How are you going to take a shower? How are you going to do anything? I know if my kid was missing, I'd be a stinky ass motherfucker for a very long time because wouldn't be no showering, wouldn't be no brushing of teeth. My hygiene would be very unhygienic. I would be the type of individual that was out there on the pavement in the dirt, kicking doors down, doing things that I had to do. You look, my kid was kidnapped recently from me. Okay. I knew where my child was, but I could not get my child back. My child, I left her with her mother for visitation because I have full custody, and her mom just decided not to bring her back. Now, for whatever reason, her mother decided not to bring her back to me out of fear or out of fucking hatred or out of getting me back or whatever, right? It all worked out in the end. I went to court, did the right thing as a man, and got my child back, but I was desperate, and I was pissed, and I was willing to take a trip to California with a something that I'm not supposed to have as a felon and do bad things, but I had to think about my priorities and my other children. Right. And I knew everything would work out because God was on my side and the truth shall set you free. And it did. Right. But as a parent and your kid not being there, it takes your breath away. You can't think straight. You start thinking crazy. Right. These people did not do that, especially Rebecca. Hola, hola. No one said hola, bitch. The only thing hola is your shit. When someone smells you, nah. Right. That's it. Oh, nah. Not hola. Oh, hell nah. Right? Sasuke, is that a pussy or an asshole? What is that? Right? Come on. It looks the same. And it smells the same. Right? That's it. Look, now there's some news things going around. There's a new story, a new twist. There's a twist that, and I believe that Jake is actually blaming Rebecca. He did it before. If you remember in the first case, if you've looked into it, when his daughter was beaten beyond recognition, sad, very fucking sad, right? Damn, that dude's a piece of shit. That he did. That is confirmed. There is no ongoing investigation into that. He was already tried and convicted on that. He took a deal on that. That right there was all him. And he blamed his baby's mother, saying that other people did it. His baby mother did it. Now I'm hearing the cold twist about his brother being killed in his household. Maybe he given a hot shot or an overdose. And maybe he was sleeping with Rebecca. Maybe, just maybe, Rebecca and Jake Haro are not even the parents of Emmanuel. Now, explain to me this. Riddle me this. Parents out there, you have a newborn kid, a baby, less than a year old. You know the day he was born, the exact minute, the time, how much he weighed, everything. A mother especially. You could ask a mother. I could ask my mother today, call her and be like, hey, moms, you know what I'm saying? When was I born? She'll tell me the date. About what time? And where, and how much I weighed, and how long I was, and fucking if I had an Indy or an Audi. Me, of course, I was blessed with a big Audi, but you know what I'm saying? Audi 5000 G, I was gone. I could tell you guys this. Mothers, loving mothers, caring mothers know exactly what's going on with their child. How is it that when Rebecca was asked when this kid was born, she said sometime in December. Sometime, bitch, everyone knows December's Christmas time. Come on now. You don't know when your baby was born? The dates and times don't add up. This baby would be 8 months old, possibly 9 months old. You say it's a 7-month-old baby. You don't know what your baby is. Is that your baby? People are questioning if that's even Rebecca Haro's son. If that's Jake Haro's son. If this is a kid that they just came across, however they came across it, and decided that maybe they would get rid of the baby, put up this big old scheme in front and get some GoFundMe money. Remember, there was a GoFundMe that was put up. Now I'm wondering where that money went, you know, because there's a lot of concerned people. A baby's missing. It's national news. Everyone's feeling, you know, we even had Nancy Grace defending the parents in the beginning. They give them the benefit of the doubt. I understand that. Until someone is fully convicted, you have to give them by law the benefit of the doubt. But in reality, real people, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, Smokey Robinson, myself, and everyone else on the tira realized right from the gate something was fishy here and something wasn't what it was supposed to be, and that this dad had priors, and it started to all come together like puzzle pieces, right? But the key piece of this puzzle is baby Emmanuel, and the even keyer piece to this puzzle is Rebecca. You would think, just like I would think, that they were going to separate Rebecca from Jake. I don't even like saying his name, Jake the Snake, right? That they were going to separate them and she was going to start spilling the beans. But quite possibly it's Jake, the cowardice punk, piece of shit snake that he is going to try to blame her. He's going to try to blame Rebecca. Like I said, it's coming down to the point where I don't know if people are grasping at straws or reaching, but is this really his kid? Is this really her kid? What type of individuals and people can kill their baby, do bad things to them in the living room, get rid of all their clothing, all their pictures? Very concerning, alarming, and very crazy. The only thing I could think of that sounds feasible, that sounds, I mean, none of it's normal, but sounds about what could have happened, was they felt so distraught over what they did. And maybe not the father, because he's used to that shit, but the mother felt so distraught over what happened to her child, her husband's child, the baby they were raising, allegedly, right? The baby that no one in the family seen for a month and didn't report it. That child, okay? The same child that when they went to the funeral wasn't there. The same child that when they went to the football game wasn't there. I'm just so happy. The only blessing here is that Jake didn't do nothing bad to his 2-year-old, the other little girl that was displaced and removed from the home. I'm glad that they removed that kid from home. They possibly saved that kid's life. For once, the system got it right. But Emmanuel didn't have a chance. He never had a chance. You've seen from when he was a newborn pictures to when he was 7 months old pictures, that kid had issues. And his issues were caused by bad parenting and sociopaths and parents that just didn't care, basically psychopaths. Anyone who could do that is missing a chromosome in their brain. Now, when it comes to Rebecca, I hate to tell you guys, but if she does start cooperating, she's probably going to get a little bit of love. Not as much love as getting out of prison and not seeing the free world for a while, but she might get a little bit of love. But right now, what's alarming and concerning is that Jake jumped the gun. See, Jake was the first to get a lawyer immediately. He got him a lawyer, and that lawyer, everywhere that lawyer went, that lawyer said, what did that lawyer say? I am not Rebecca's lawyer. I am defending Jake. I am Jake's lawyer. They made sure to distance themselves. Like Sin City Manny's wife, Julia, is distancing herself from Manny. That's the same thing. That's why a lot of that's why I reference Sin City Manny in a lot of these cases, because his case is still ongoing and it makes a lot of sense. Also being that Rebecca, I don't know about Rebecca, but I know that Haro is originally from Salinas, from what I'm hearing. So is Manny. Man, they're vicious in Salinas. They be killing everything. Just not kids, right? Except if your name's Jake. We're going to find out as the story goes on what happened. I think Jake is blaming Rebecca. I think Jake has took the opportunity to jump and say, you know what? It worked for me the first time. Maybe it'll work for me the second time. Will it work? I highly doubt it. There's a lot of people that are against Jake because of the first conviction. And there's a lot of people that don't think a woman is capable of doing this. But women are capable of doing a lot of things. I'm not defending Jake here. He's a piece of shit. Regardless of if he was involved with the baby Emmanuel case, actually killing him and his disappearance. Don't get it twisted. That dude did that to his daughter, and he deserves everything he gets. I hope they toss the shit out of him in prison, right? I hope he gets settled with a tosser, and his salad gets tizast, right? Caesar salad, Italian dressing, fucker. I hope all that happens to him. But what I hope happens even more is that if his wife, Rebecca Haro, with her done-up hair and her 2 fucking black eyes, and then we're going to talk about her black eyes right now in a second, but I hope she gets everything she has coming too, because she's not innocent. She might even be the one to blame. Jake's obviously doing it. When Jake took those police to that area, I do not even believe that he was cooperating as far as saying he was like, yo, I think he was cooperating on putting the jacket and putting the blame on Rebecca. What a scandalous dude. Here, let me eat your pussy and tell on you. Right? Go do your hair and cover up your 2 black eyes. Speaking of black eyes, if you guys noticed, I noticed in the very first video, she had what looked like a black eye on the other side. She had the black eye that was healing, that she tried to say she got the night before from Mr. Ola, when I told you that was Mr. Ona, right? And then she also had a black eye that was going away and a bruise on her chin. When she was arrested, when she was given the mugshot, if you look in the mugshot, she has a black eye that's even more visible, either because there's no makeup on, they caught her early in the morning after she gave a mamon to Jake the Snake, or in the meantime of this kid disappearing and them talking to social media and all that, or talking to media, and then till the time that he got arrested, he gave her another fucking black eye. Oh, shit, we did that, girl. We did that. This guy just is nonstop, huh? He's sick. She's sick to let this happen. Okay, there's a baby that's missing. We need to stop focusing on Jake and Rebecca and who's telling on who and what's going to happen with them. Who gives a fuck what happens to them? They're never getting out. That I promise. What we need to really focus on is the baby. Okay, is the baby still somewhere? Could they have possibly put the baby somewhere? Is the baby still alive? I understand that there was a lot of blood, and of course the detectives had to have something to go on. But even if the baby is not alive, we still want the baby put to rest. But who's going to take the baby to put this baby to rest? Unfortunately, it's so sad. Both parents are locked up. They ain't worth shit. You know, we'll see if the other mother of this baby, it's all mixed up. Or the grandmother, she's acting like she never met the baby before in her life. She seems a trip. He had soft, pillowy hair like a feather. Were you saying that with or without blood? Come on now, man. Stop. These people are sick people, and they need to be held accountable. But I do believe, doubling back, I do believe that Jake is blaming. He's not taking guilt. He's not admitting guilt. This dude doesn't have that in him. This dude is a blamer. He likes to beat and blame. BB, double BB, right? He likes to beat and blame. And I believe he's going to blame Rebecca. He's going to paint a narrative that she is the evil one. She did this. She was mad because this wasn't her son or whatever, or she was having to take care of him and this kid had issues and she couldn't take it. So she killed him and he helped her cut him up and all this. And she went and did this. And she's the one that went on the news and she's the one that did this. She is a blame game, right? And she's going to fire back on all cylinders and say no and probably tell the truth. The fact is, until they find baby Emmanuel, we're not going to understand or know without an autopsy what exactly transpired and happened. And until they start telling the truth, we're not going to know. It's already been 3 days. Rebecca's been locked up. She hasn't said a word yet. She's been real quiet. Now, they do have them separated. Someone's like, oh, man, they separated. Of course they separated him. He's a man, stupid. Or what they think is a man. They're not going to keep them together, right? Men and women go to different facilities, maybe same jail, different buildings. But he's been moved to a whole different facility. That's due to his record and all that. What I have to say is this. When on the theater, and shout out and respects to him, said that he believed the body was found. He jumped the gun just a little bit. And shit, hey, kudos to him for out there being on the beat, on the spot reporting, right? Letting people know what's going on. He's a real one for that. But, you know, everyone gets things wrong. Doesn't mean we hate them because they got it wrong. It just means, hey, I'll double back when I got something right. I believe Jake went out there to show them either the area where they dumped the body or where he thought she told him where the body was because they did not find the body. Now they'll have cadaver dogs go out there. Now they have a certain vicinity and area to search, and they're going to do all that. But I don't believe that he was admitting it, that he did it. I think he's blaming Rebecca. Seems like the smart thing to do. Seems like something he did before and got away with, right? How the fuck did they let him out after doing what he did to his daughter? Is baby Emmanuel really their kid? How does a mom forget her own child's birthday and what month he was born in? And is he 7 months old, 8 months, or 9 months? We don't even know if baby Emmanuel ever existed. There's not a lot of pictures to go on. Were these people just doing it for the GoFundMe money? Is this all a ruse and a scam? What's going on? Either way, that man needs to be held accountable. I mean, that's a stupid fat chick right there wants to ride with them. Then go ahead, boo-boo. You ride with them. It's funny how she had her hair done. She had highlights in her hair. She was all hooked up. It looked like she just got done getting tossed all night by Jake. That motherfucker could barely walk. He was all discombobulated. If they didn't expect the task to come kick their door down, well, guess what? It happened. With that being said, let me know what you think. Man, there's a lot going on here. Do you believe that's even their child? Do you believe he's blaming Rebecca? Do you believe he admitted guilt? Do you believe they even know at this point where the body is? Remember also when I was talking to Dubs and he brought me up on some game, if you don't bury the body deep enough, there are wild animals, coyotes, mountain lions, whatever that are out in that area that could possibly take the body. I don't want to think like that. I'm just saying. Anyways, with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. Put me up on some game if you got game to put me up on. I'm just giving you the knowledge you can't get in college without any added preservatives and giving you my perspective on what I think. We should stop focusing on Rebecca and Jake. Fuck them. And let's start focusing on Emmanuel and finding him. All these people running up in the house, giving tours, tainting evidence and doing all these things that they're doing. Man, stop focusing on clout and focusing on what could have happened and focus on what should happen. And that's these people be put to death if that's what they did and the baby being found. Justice for baby Emmanuel. This is the gun. Bang, bang. Gun gang.